Welcome to Cinema Through the Seasons. We're going through the seasons and holidays, and we're talking about movies related to them, you know. Um, I'm London, your host.
And I'm Corey.
Yes. And as we went over last week, we are now coming out of spooky season and we're going into Thanksgiving and fall. Um, and it was difficult. It's been difficult finding movies to actually talk about. But thankfully, there is a movie called Thanksgiving. And what do you know? It's about Thanksgiving, or it's set around Thanksgiving. It's a slasher. So we're going back to our roots here on this podcast. We're going back to slashers. This one came out in 2023. It's by Eli Roth, which I'm not super familiar with.
Not at all. Never heard of him.
Yeah, but he's made some more popular. He made Hostel, which I haven't seen, but I've heard of.
He made Hostel.
Mm-hmm.
Are there more than one of those movies?
Yeah, I think so. I haven't seen them. They're a bit much for me, but
but
I heard not even scary. I just heard they're like really gory, like torture porn type movies, and I'm just not into that.
It might be. It really might be.
Yeah. But yeah, this one, Thanksgiving, it's based off of a fake trailer that he made for another movie, Grindhouse. And I guess in that movie they had a bunch of directors make like fake trailers for fake movies. And he made a trailer for this, but then he actually wanted to like make it into like a real movie.
So this started off as a trailer in another movie.
Mm-hmm.
And he just made it into a whole new movie.
Pretty much. Yeah, it was
dope.
It's a movie called Grindhouse. It's a Tarantino movie. And yeah, I guess I've never seen it, but him and like a bunch of directors made like little trailers that they had in the movie. And then two of the other directors that made them also expanded theirs into like full projects too.
Yeah. What were the other two?
I'm not sure. Okay. I've never heard of them. I've never heard of the directors or what they made. This is the only one I've heard of.
Well, I like Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I know you said you liked this from the beginning. I'm not gonna lie. When I first saw this, I did not love it. I thought it was fine. Like I thought it was like decent enough, but like I didn't love it. I definitely liked it more on this second watch.
Okay.
I definitely liked it more. Yeah, I appreciated it more on the second one. I feel like the first time I watched it was probably when it first came out anyway. And like, I don't know what it was expecting, but it just wasn't like, it didn't really stand out to me, which I don't think it really does in a lot of ways, but that doesn't mean that it's not good.
I liked it because I haven't seen a slasher like that in a while. First of all, it starts off action packed right away. As soon as like the third scene.
It does have a very strong opening.
And the killing scenes in the beginning, they're like, yo, I haven't seen something like this in a minute, or I've probably never seen it in my life before. It's just crazy. Her head just caught on the cart and they're just pushing. Now I did close my eyes. Every time I watch it, I just close my eyes because that's just nasty. But yeah, I definitely do like this movie.
I definitely, like I said, I liked it more on the second watch. But yeah, the movie starts, like I said, it's about Thanksgiving. It takes place in Plymouth, Massachusetts. So it starts on Thanksgiving Day. It takes place in, like I said, it's like a small-ish town, I guess. Plymouth, Massachusetts is like a small town. And so there's this guy who owns this like big, I guess, like department store in town. And so he's having his Black Friday sale. He's starting it on Thanksgiving. And so he's making his employees now come to work on Thanksgiving. Like the one guy, there's a lot of characters that are introduced in this opening scene though. There's like really 20, like pretty much everyone in the movie is introduced in this opening scene. So it's a lot to keep track of. But he's making the manager of the store. He was one of the people that has to go in on Thanksgiving, and he has to leave his wife and his family. His wife is played by Gina Gershon, who I really like. Have you ever seen Gina Gershon in anything else?
No. Give me another one of her movies.
Have you seen? She's been Bound. I think I've mentioned this to you before, but it's her and I don't know the other actress's name, but I've seen her in a lot of other stuff.
But she does look familiar now that I think about her.
She was also in Riverdale. If you've seen Riverdale, she's Jughead's mom in Riverdale.
Okay, that's where I probably know her from.
Yeah, she's Jughead's mom. But I like her in Bound. I love that movie.
Bound. What's Bound about?
It's sidebar. It's about Gina Gershon and, like I said, this another woman. They're lesbian lovers who try to steal from the mob.
Oh, okay. There's a lot of movies like that out right now.
Probably. Yeah, it's from the 90s. It was made by the same people who made The Matrix, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah. I forget the Wachowski sisters or whatever their name is.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really good. I love that movie. But anyway, she's in this movie and she plays, like I said, she's married to the manager of the store. I think it's called Right Mart or something.
Right Mart.
And so the manager Mitch has to go in. Excuse me. And so she and the sheriff of the town, who's played by Patrick Dempsey from Grey's Anatomy, McDreamy or something like that.
That is not what he is from, but that's what these young people know him from.
Well, he was also in Scream 3. We've seen him in Scream 3. Mm-hmm. He ends up marrying Sydney after the events of that movie. But he's here and he plays a sheriff of this town and he's like friends with the manager, Mitch, and Gina Gershon. So they're all at the store leading up to the store's opening. So, and then we also have the owner of the store, his daughter, Jessica, who's the main character. Her and her friends and her boyfriend also go to the store opening because like one of her friends wants like a new phone or something. So she lets them in through the employee entrance. And as they're like going, they're supposed to be like in and out, but as they're like going through the store, everyone outside, because there's like a mob outside waiting for the store to open. And so they see them inside the store early and it makes them even angrier. Like they were already really like rowdy before. But when they see these kids inside early, they get even more pissed off. And they start a riot basically. And they like rush there's only 2 security guards there. And then Patrick Dempsey and I guess a few other cops have to show up because it's getting really out of hand. It's I think it was like 600 extras or something that was in that outside scene.
For real?
Yeah, like or 600 or 400 or something like that. It was a lot of people.
With 2 security guards.
2 security guards.
And one takes off.
Yeah. When the riot starts,
takes off.
and the crowd gets past the barricade, one of the security guards just like runs away, and the other one goes inside the store and he locks the doors. But the crowd ends up breaking through the doors and they trample the one security guard to death. And another customer, as he's getting inside, gets his throat cut by like the broken glass. And he still tries to get, I guess they're giving out like free waffle irons. So he still tries to pick up the waffle iron as he's bleeding from his throat. But then he collapses and dies. And then another woman comes and she takes the waffle iron out of his hands as he's bleeding out on the ground. Yeah. Gina Gershon also dies. She's like on the floor and she gets hit in the head with the shopping cart and she gets scalped. Like a part of her hair and her scalp gets ripped off by the shopping carts. And just was there a third person that died? That was the 3 people that died.
Yeah, Bobby's hand got broken.
Yeah,
Jessica's boyfriend.
Yeah, Jessica's boyfriend. Her boyfriend Bobby. He's like a baseball star, and he's like a really good pitcher. But he goes to help the security guard that's getting trampled, and someone steps on his arm and like shatters it. Like it's really crazy.
It just twists, like it turns so awkward and weird in the movie.
Yeah, I said this during Scream 1, how Tatum's death, and you can tell it's a mannequin head. Mm-hmm. It was the same thing during this, where they did a close up of his arm when it breaks, and you can tell it's like plastic.
Yeah, like you saw how it just twists so quickly. And right there,
like you can tell it's like plastic or rubber, and you can tell it's like a fake arm inside of his jacket.
I still close my eyes though. That's nasty.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like this. Like I said, this opening scene is like brutal, and one of the other friends is like recording everything instead of like helping his girlfriend or helping anyone. He's like recording everything. The husband Mitch like finds his wife's body and he starts freaking out. So then Patrick Dempsey, sheriff, gets inside and he like sees the commotion and he like shoots off his gun to. I feel like that would make it worse.
Listen, in the movie though, it stopped everything, you know?
Apparently they like it like cuts to black, so we don't really see how it ends. But I feel like it'll make it worse if I'm already like momming a store and I hear a gunshot.
It all depends though. Like in the closed, depends on how loud that bullet is in a closed store. I don't know. You might jump and like, oh, what the heck is going on? You know, one of
Maybe.
those. I don't know. It might calm you down. It might not. Who knows? But in the movie, hey, they got calmed down right there.
Yeah. Which by the way, Patrick Dempsey's like Boston accent in this, and like every people's like fake Boston accents in this movie was so ridiculous. They were so ridiculous and like distracting. Of them, of like people trying to do a Boston accent. Like I said, because since Patrick Dempsey is one of the main characters, he is not from Boston, so like you can really tell. It's so distracting to me.
The only guy's accent who I thought was real was the coach. He grabbed the blowhorn and said the store is open. I'm forgetting his name though, but he was one of the main characters.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get maybe his. I don't know. I feel like everyone was just so exaggerated. I genuinely don't know who in this movie is actually from Boston and who isn't, because it was just so distracting.
Boston.
So yeah, this is obviously like a huge thing in this town. The dad, the owner of the store, gets like sued a bunch of times and he has to like settle a bunch, and the manager Mitch, is like really really pissed because his wife died in this tragedy. And everyone's like super traumatized. But then the year after this, we cut to the next year where it's Thanksgiving time again, and they're still planning on having the same sale that they did the following year. But the dad's like, "Oh, we're gonna have like more security or whatever. Like it'll be fine." Him and his wife, because it was the stepmom's idea to open the store early in the first place. And now they're trying to do it again, and people in the town are like super pissed. And Mitch, who was the manager, obviously he doesn't work for them anymore, but he's like leading a bunch of protests around town, trying to get the store to close or whatever. And also we find out that Jessica's boyfriend Bobby left town after what happened, and he just like ghosted everyone. So like Jessica and the rest of her friends haven't heard from him in a year, which is like really insane, actually. Like, where did he go?
Dude, listen, you know, if you go fight his demons, he was going to be a major league pitcher, and then his whole life just
that's
shattered
true, and that's why
one night.
Yeah, and that's why decision. He says he leaves later because he was so mad about what happened. But like, yeah. I don't know. Anyway, yeah. So he ends up coming back soon, or no, that's a little later. First, one of the people who was in the riot, her name, I think in the movies, Lizzie, she's like a waitress at the local diner, which there's like a moment in this scene where she's like, Jessica and her friends are at the diner and they like ask to be served, and she's like, "You have to wait your turn, this isn't Right Mart." And it's like, she also had a huge part in that riot. Like, she did. She was one of the main instigators. She was one of the people who ripped off Gina Gerson's scalp. Like, she was involved in her death. Why are you judging these kids? Like, you also did terrible things that night. Like,
broke down the door, broke through the barrier.
She was like literally in the front of the crowd.
She was one of the first in the store.
She was one of the first people in there. Crazy. But yeah, then later on, she's in the like diner by herself, like closing up, and someone in a mask. It's like a John Carver mask, who apparently was the first governor of the Plymouth colony. and they made his face into these like really creepy masks. They was creeping me out so bad.
For real?
Yes, they're so weird looking. Why are they so weird looking?
They don't even look weird though.
Yes, they do.
They did not look weird. I thought that was just like their little mascot or whatever.
I mean, yeah, like
But-
they said earlier, like everyone in the town wears those masks, but they're so creepy looking to me.
Maybe because a killer put it on.
Not even that. If I had to like walk around, I like wouldn't. If I lived in this town, I wouldn't want to like leave my house. Like
Have you seen
everyone's
people wear
walking
that?
around these freaky masks. But anyway, yeah, someone wearing the mask in a pilgrim costume kills her. And it's like really pretty gnarly. Like she gets like freezer burn because he like dunks her in a sink of water and then like slams her against the door of a freezer, and she has to like rip off her skin to get off the freezer. It's like real, and then yeah, it's like really gnarly. And the killer steals her car keys and gets into her car. So she tries to like get into a dumpster to get away from him, and he runs into the dumpster, and the lid falls down on her and cuts her in half, which is really insane. I don't think that's how dumpsters work.
Yo, I was gonna just say, like, would that really happen like that?
Don't no way. I don't
Because
think
if
that's how.
that is very crazy.
Like the dumpster lid by itself, I don't think is heavy enough or sharp enough or strong enough to cut a human in half, like completely clean in half. I don't think that's. I feel like a lot of the kills in this movie, I felt very unrealistic to me.
Okay, so that was the first kill. Was that the first kill in the movie?
That was the first murder.
Yeah, first murder
from the.
Other than the right marks scenario. Okay,
Yeah.
so that was the first murder. Okay, so
That-
a little unrealistic.
Yeah.
Unrealistic.
And then the killer like takes her bottom half, like her legs, and he like puts it on the right mart sign next to a poster that says 50% off. That's kind of funny.
Very funny. Very funny.
Yeah. So he takes a picture of that and he like posts it. The killer has an Instagram account, and he like where he posts his kills, and he has Jessica and her friends tagged in the post that he makes. And he also, before this, he posted a picture of like a table, and he put all of their names at the table.
Mm-hmm.
So now they're like freaked out because he takes her top half and he puts it at the table. So now they're like freaked out because like there's someone's killing people and they're tagging them on Instagram. Let's see what next. Oh, so then we find out that the killer's going after people that were involved in like all of the things that went wrong in the opening scene. So like I said, this first woman was like a really big instigator in the riot, and she kind of killed Gina Gershon. So then he then goes after the security guard that ran away. He decapitates him with a wire or something, which also again felt unrealistic to me because it's like you're going through like the muscle, the bone, like he goes through his like spinal cord with this like wire.
To me, it was like, okay, so first of all, the security guard was trying to go to the Dominican Republic, I want to say.
He was leaving the country.
Yeah, leaving the country, had his passport. First of all, how did the killer get in the house? And he managed to steal his passport and managed to put the John Carver mask on the couch without being heard or spotted.
Mm-hmm.
And then also he was hiding, I guess, underneath a table because once the security guard walked by, he got stabbed. But I don't understand that angle.
Yeah, the way he stabs him with like a drill, and it looks like his hand is coming from underneath, but it doesn't. We can't see where he's hiding. So yeah, that scene is really weird because it's
no
like
sense to me.
Just like a disembodied arm, just like stabbing him in the stomach, and then yeah, he takes his head off with this wire. But I'm like, that feels. And the character uses an axe for most of the movie, so just have him use the axe. Why? I just felt really weird.
I didn't want to carry it through the building he was in. I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, these first two specifically just felt very unrealistic to me. Like I understand you do have to like have a bit of like suspension of disbelief when you're watching slashers, but this is like a bit too much.
He did feed the cat though.
He did. The guy has a cat, and the killer feeds the cat before he leaves. Like he takes the guy's head and he feeds the cat, and then he puts the head at the table and he posts that on Instagram.
Yeah, but if the security guard would have had a dog, maybe the dog could have barked because he did ask the cat where he was before he got stabbed, and the cat looked in the kitchen, like he looked in the kitchen.
Yeah, the cat kind of did him dirty.
He said, "You're not going to feed me. F you."
um Yeah. So people are like freaking out. Patrick Dempsey is like freaking out. And he's trying to figure out like who it is. So another thing is that the stepmother, who, like I said, it was her idea who to open the store early. After what happens, she deletes the security footage from the store. But Jessica knows that there's like a backup that lasts for a year, very coincidentally. Um, so she goes and she like prints out like pictures of the security footage, and she shows it to the sheriff, and they're like trying to figure out like who could be next, basically either who could be next or who could be doing it, because they obviously, like I said, they know it's involved with the riot, so they're trying to figure out like who it is. And Patrick Dempsey's like, don't trust anyone
At all.
Yeah, it's very dramatic. And then we find out that Jessica's boyfriend, because after her and Bobby break up, she starts dating this other guy who had a crush on her when she was dating Bobby. He was weird to me. Boyfriend was weird to me.
He was barely in the movie.
That too.
When he wasn't,
like,
it was
yeah, when he
weird.
was, he was weird.
Yeah. The best thing he did was give the 50-yard tickets to Scoob and Ethan.
Yeah, like he's like trying to like suck up to her friends, and he's like really jealous when Bobby comes back in town. And he's like, he's like an asshole towards Bobby. And they have this like weird rivalry going on. Yeah, the boyfriend was weird to me. And then we find out that because he initially told the police that he didn't know anyone who was at the store, but then through the footage, we see that he was friends with the security guard that died. So that's like super suspicious. And now Bobby hates him even more. But yeah, so then because two of Jessica's friends are on the football team, but the game gets canceled because people are being murdered. So they're at the school, like they're about to leave the school, but two of Jessica's friends get kidnapped by the killer, and then she's chased through the school by the killer, which is a pretty good chase scene. I feel like this one was. I think this movie does have good like chase scenes and like good like killer stalking victim scenes. Like even the one in the diner, I feel like was pretty good. The one in the apartment was pretty quick, so it doesn't really count.
He didn't even run.
Yeah, I mean, how could he run? He was in his own apartment. But I think this one in the school was pretty good. I feel like she was pretty smart about. I think she was pretty smart about things, which is important. We talked about this in Scream. If you're gonna have a good chase, you can't have the victim do stupid stuff. But I think she was pretty smart. She hides in the school's like cosmetology room or whatever, and she like pretends to be a mannequin head. Which I will say at this point, I was like, just hide under the table, like just go under the table.
But then she might have been set up because, like, what if he walks by and then stops moving and then starts poking the head, like the little hammer? I said the hammer. What's
axe?
The axe. The axe, like underneath the table. Like she just blended in with the heads, and she didn't move. Even though she kept blinking, you can tell that she was scared.
But she didn't like scream or anything when he started like knocking things over. Yeah, like she was I think she did a good job in this scene. I feel like in general she was a pretty good protagonist. Yeah. Like, like I said, I feel like I don't know. She's no Sidney Prescott, but I think she was pretty good.
Yeah, she was good.
Yeah, and then after, like I said, her friends get kidnapped. What else? Oh, this is when her boyfriend and Bobby get into like a fight, and they like confront the boyfriend over like how he knows the security guard, and he said he was basically buying drugs off of him. And he's like, that's when he's like really elitist. He's like this, yeah, he's like a really elitist, like rich white dude. And like Bobby's like a working class. Is he black or is he mixed?
I would say mix. With a name like Bobby and he looks Spanish, I say mix.
He's a person of color. he's a working class like person of color. And so the boyfriend is like, he's like really mean to him. He's like really elite. Like I said, he's really weird. I don't like him.
Yeah, he said, this is what rich kids who want to go in the Ivy League take, and he said
Yeah, like
something about
rich
him.
kids who go into Ivy League, they
Oh,
take Adderall to get ahead. Like,
and
why are
people
you
like,
bragging
yeah,
about needing Adderall to get through school?
said people like you park our Porsches or whatever he
Tow their
said. Yeah, tow the
Porsches.
Porsches. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
because
was yeah.
yeah, it seems really weird.
Knock the jacket off of her and everything.
Yeah, like Bobby like gives her his jacket, and then when the boyfriend goes hug her, he like knocks it off her shoulders.
I do understand that part though. I do understand that.
Yeah, like I understand being upset that your girlfriend is getting really close to her ex again, but like don't be that way. Like he acts really weird. Oh, and then there's two other kills where the football guy from the beginning that started the riot and his cheerleader girlfriend. The football guy gets murdered. He gets like his neck like completely like twisted. Like
Killer strong.
yeah.
Killer strong for that.
Which again, I did that. How would that work?
Happen?
And yeah, and can like a human physically do that?
No,
like just turn his head.
so.
Like he turned his head like 180 degrees. Like, is that a thing that can happen?
No, I do not think that could happen. Maybe the strongest man alive could do that.
maybe like Captain America could do it, but like, can this? Especially when we get the reveal at the end, like, is this dude really doing all this?
But nah, was that okay? So was the coach when he died? Was that an acceptable death? Because he was about to. Was he about to have sex with the cheerleader?
Yeah, kind of. Or at least she said it was like just a tease or something.
Just a tease.
Yeah.
She didn't have no panties on. It seemed like she was about to take off her top with no bra. There was a lot going on right there for Coach. Coach could have got fired. Suspended.
Yeah, because I think he was like working for the school instead of going there, and like everyone knew he was hooking up with this cheerleader. I don't know.
Yeah, because they laughed and applauded when he left the weight room.
Yeah, these are weird people in this town. There's a lot of weird people in this town. But yeah, he gets killed, and the cheerleader, we think she gets killed, but then later on we find out that she's still alive, but she gets stabbed a few times, and then kidnapped. So then after the friends are kidnapped, Jessica and her one friend that's left, Scuba they try to come up with they first of all, they get a gun from this like guy in town who's known for giving teenagers guns and alcohol, which everyone in town knows about it, and I'm assuming Patrick Dempsey knows about it, but like
saw he shot a musket.
Yes, he shoots a gun near the high schoolers at the high school for the football game. Like, this town is so strange.
And the cops were right there.
Patrick Dempsey was right there. McCarty and his dad, who's also there. Everyone knows what their deal is, and no one does anything. Like, he literally goes to the school, and he's like, "Hey, you guys want to come to my party? You can get drunk." Like,
that's how you know it's a small town right there.
These like weirdos in this town. Anyway.
No, you didn't even mention once they do go into the house to buy the gun. You remember they walk by a room full of kids. He said, "Yeah, they've been there since yesterday. They're hungover, drunk from something."
Yeah, he's having this like huge party that they're like advertising for through the first half of the movie, and like people are getting so drunk, everyone's throwing up everywhere. But he gives them a gun. And as they're like on their way to wherever with the gun, Scuba's girlfriend, Yulia, gets killed by the killer, like in front of them. This one I'll accept. I can accept this one because they're like in her house and they're doing like renovations in their house. There's like a saw just like laying out. I guess that part's a little weird. But yeah, the killer like disembowels her with the saw in front of them, and like her guts and her blood go everywhere in very Scream fashion. I think a lot of this movie was inspired by like Scream and I Know What You Did Last Summer. Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Which I mean, like group of teens get stalked by serial killer.
Yeah, I blame the dad for the Uriel murder though. Why are you walking around your house with your headphones blasting, just moving about like nothing's happening?
I mean, they were trying to leave town that night. He definitely should have. People should have been paying more attention. The police were not on it. That's another thing in Scream fashion. The police in this movie are useless. They don't do anything.
Look
They
at the
have
cops.
a cop in their house, like as like a security detail or whatever, and the cop still gets knocked out by the killer. The cop and the dad both get shot with a dart by the killer, and then yeah, he kills Yulia in front of Jessica and Scuba. So then after this, they're like, we need to catch him right now. And the dad is like, I think the dad agrees to close the store, even though the stepmom still doesn't want to. Like the dad's like, okay, we're like not gonna do this anymore. We're just gonna close. The stepmom's like, oh, what? Like, girl, like 5 people are dead. What do you mean?
We're not gonna make no money tonight.
Exactly. But they have like this huge Thanksgiving parade in the town. So like their plan is to like use all of them as bait to like get the killer to come out so that they can catch him. But obviously it doesn't work. And the killer starts kind of the killer just starts killing people in the middle of the parade. He kills one guy that was also at the riot the year before. I think he was the other guy who was with the shopping carts who killed Gina Gershon. I think that was him. He like decapitates him while he's wearing his turkey mascot costume.
That was him?
I think so, yeah.
I was wondering what happened to the other person with the cart.
Oh yeah, no, God. I think that was him because they say when they're going over the security footage, they're like, "Oh, he's always the mascot in the parade," and he was the other guy with the shopping swoop. Yeah.
I don't think a human can really do that.
That too, that one too was a little fantastical the way he just takes his head off. Yeah, and then another guy who's driving a parade float gets like I don't even know what it is, like a pole or something, right?
The
like
thing from the boat.
Yeah, like the mast or something from the boat float goes clean through his skull, right next to his granddaughters that are in the truck with him. And
traumatized.
Yes.
For life.
Those girls are never going to be the same.
And that was an accidental kill. That wasn't even meant.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're scarred for life. Oh my God, therapy not going to help.
Yeah. But this time he's not in the Carver costume. He's in like a clown costume or whatever, which is why obviously they don't see him coming. So then he kidnaps Jessica and her dad and her stepmom and her friend. And this is when the stepmom, which I think you mentioned before, you really like this scene, which this is a good scene because it's the stepmom. Everyone gets kidnapped, but he's like planning on cooking the stepmother. So he has her like on a table and he's like basting her with butter and salt and stuff. And she wakes up on his table, and while his back is turned, she hides, and it's a very suspenseful, like it's not a fast chase, it's like very suspenseful, like cat and mouse type game, and she very nearly gets away. Like I said, and she makes like good decisions during this. She is smart.
Only worst decision she didn't make was getting out of the house sooner. Like, because at first
I feel like not even getting out sooner. I feel like when she eventually does get out, she shouldn't have. I hate when people like just run straight when there's someone chasing them with a weapon. Like do a zigzag, turn somewhere. Like if she got out of the house and like just turned left or right, he wouldn't have, because she gets out and she just runs and he throws a pitch at what is it called?
A
pitchfork at her back. And she gets caught and he bakes her. And that's like, I think the most gruesome, honestly. Like she's like cooked alive basically in this like really tiny oven.
Oh, I was thinking about that. Like, does that really hurt? Like,
how do you know
when you're like, how do you know when you're like dead? Because it seemed like she died when she popped.
I think, you put like a thermometer in her arm and it like pops up when she's cooking. But I mean, she's basically burned to death.
But yeah, that gotta hurt. But wait, going back to the scene, I probably would have ran straight too, just because of the fact I seen the little fork in the wall, and now he grabs it out smoothly. But I know it probably would have took a real killer in real life, probably anywhere between 3 to 5 seconds, because he just pulled it out cleanly and just threw it at her. But in a real life situation, I probably would have ran straight too. Plus, you don't even know where you're at, so running left and right, I don't know.
I feel like I don't know. I don't know. I don't know either. Like I said, you really never know until
Until you.
you're in it. So like you
Hopefully, I'm
can't.
never in that though.
Yeah. Like I said, she did well leading up to this. So like you
She
can't judge her
did.
too hard.
Yo, she
Like
did
she's really good at hiding, and there are a few jump scares, but she doesn't scream or
at
anything.
all.
Like because there are people's dead bodies just like
Oh my
lying
god.
around in this room or in this house that they're in, and then she finds the cheerleader in a fridge or something, but
Mm-hmm.
she's still alive. Like I said, she didn't die, and she like wakes up, and the stepmom like tries to run and get help and everything, but unfortunately her efforts are in vain and she does die in probably the worst way. At least everyone else's were like fairly quick, kind of. I think the
Yeah.
quickest was the coach, but like even
Yeah,
like
that
getting
was.
your neck broken or your head cut off, at least you're it's
Does it that hurt though? Like, do you feel that?
I
Because
feel like
he
it's
twisted it so quickly.
that's true. But yeah, I feel like since it's so like fast,
Ugh.
I don't know. Yeah, anyway, like I said, everyone he has everyone like at the table and he basically does he like he does like the whole monologue thing and he's using a voice modulator like I said in Scream, like I said. And he basically says and he's like live streaming it, but and he tricks the cops into like thinking he's in one place, but it was like a trick, like he was recording the actual like footage from where they actually are. It's like a whole thing. um but he kills one of Jessica's friends again. It was a friend that was filming everything during the riot, and he posted it on YouTube, which is an interesting move. Like I said, people in this town are so weird and interesting. um, but he like bludgeons the friend to death with like a meat. Um, what is it called?
I don't know what that
A meat
was.
tenderizer?
Yes, that's exactly
I
what it
think
was.
so.
If that's what the tool is called, but
Something like
that's
that. The thing you like beat chicken with.
yeah.
Yeah. He bludgeons the friend and he like gives a monologue how he's like mad at I guess like I said, like he's mad at everyone for like what happened during the riot. And he says all of these like really corny puns throughout the movie. I think he says like, "Oh, this is gonna break the internet," because he's live streaming on Instagram while he's killing the friend. Like, he's yeah, it's like really bad. And then he serves the stepmother as a turkey. Like he cut off her head and he like binds her legs like trussing. And it's really, really gnarly. And the dad like throws up all over himself.
As soon as he lifts up the thing that shows her head. Yo, did you see the color of the throw up? Like that was nasty.
It was like orangey, like brown.
Yeah. I'm like, yo, what is that right there? Rick? What is that, Rick? From Suits, Rick Hoffman.
Yeah. And he he like cuts off a piece of her like flesh and he tries to feed it to the dad. But before he can, Scuba and Jessica are able to like cut themselves out of the rope, because earlier McCarty, the guy with the guns, he gives Jessica a ring that turns out to have like a knife in it or whatever, like a tiny little like sharp end. So they cut themselves free and they like run, and Scuba gets hit with the axe, but he doesn't die. The black guy doesn't die in this movie. He does not die. I mean, the one in the beginning did. The security guard did.
He was supposed to kill the killer though. But after I seen the killer run through that wall, I knew Scoob and them didn't stand the chance.
That's true. He does run through a wall as they're trying to escape.
How intimidating and scary that would be.
Yeah. If you're running from someone and they run through a wall to get to you. Yeah. Yes. So yeah, Jessica is like running through the woods and everything, and she managed to get away, but she like rolls her ankle. Every time in movies like this, the main character hurts their ankle or their leg somehow.
She got stuck on a fence with her mom's bracelet. But
yeah,
that was very realistic. Like if you do land wrong, jumping off of a fence, you can roll your ankle. So that was very realistic.
I'm saying like it happens all the time in movies like these. Like someone's always hurting their leg or their ankle or something because they need something to slow them down, basically.
But did you see her limp after that?
Not really,
right?
Actually. It wasn't a huge, I guess I feel like usually they make it a bigger deal, like they're like limping and everything after, but I feel like in this it was like barely a big thing
at all. She wasn't hurt.
Yeah, but she runs back to wherever they're keeping the floats for the parade, and she runs into the the sheriff, he's like lying on the floor, and he's like all bloody or whatever. So then she goes into the warehouse and she sees Bobby, because she sees someone go into the warehouse, and she follows them in, and she sees Bobby wearing like I guess wearing whatever the killer wears, so she assumes it's him. So then the sheriff like pops back up, and he like goes after him with his gun, and you hear gunshots, and then he comes back out, and he's like, "Oh, I think I shot him, but I don't know. I don't know where he went."
Hmm.
Like it's very like ambiguous what happens because we don't see it obviously. So then they start to like wrap it up, and he's like, yeah, like your dad and like your friends are in the hospital, and we're trying to find Bobby. He probably hasn't like gotten far, and we like have all the evidence and stuff. So it's like they're like wrapping it up kind of. But then when Jessica is about to leave with the sheriff, she sees these little like what even are they? Whatever.
Pollen? What?
Well,
I don't
when she
know.
was running through the woods, there was like these like plants that got like caught on her clothes,
Yeah.
and she sees the same plants on the sheriff's pants, and I guess that's enough to like kind of tell her like, oh, it's been him the whole time, which feels, I don't know. I feel like usually movies like this have a better reveal than that. Just like some plants on his pants, and like that's the smoking gun.
It went back to like the little things. What he said
Yeah,
earlier,
he
the little
said at
things
some
get
point
you
in the
caught.
movie, it's like it's always the small mistakes that trip people up or whatever.
And he knew exactly how she figured out that it was him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she tries to play it off, but she's too like surprised. So he's like, ah, damn it.
Yeah, she took that step back. If she never would have took the step backwards, maybe.
Yeah, she could have
keep
done
walking
a little
forward.
more, but like
Yeah.
she's been through a lot at this point. um so yeah, he goes on another monologue about how it turns out him and Gina Gershon were having an affair, and she was pregnant with his kid. So she was about to leave her husband for him, but then obviously she dies. And this like pisses him off even more than it did Mitch, her husband, which that guy would have had wouldn't have had a happy ending regardless. Like he got screwed off whether she died or not. But yeah, obviously now he's pissed because his girlfriend and his unborn child is dead. So that's why he starts going after everyone who had the like really big parts in the riot, because he blames all of them for her death. So and then it turns out that Jessica took one of the phones that was evidence, and she live streamed his confession. But he tries to kill her anyway, but then Bobby turns back up and he throws a hammer through a window because he's a pitcher, so it's a callback. He throws the hammer at him through a window, and they run away, and there's like a tussle. And this is when he has another one of his like weird puns, and he's like, Jessica, there will be no leftovers.
That was horrible.
It was so bad.
That was horrible.
All of his like quips and like one-liners were not good. Like there will be no leftovers. That's all you had.
Thanksgiving.
And mind you, there are, because a lot of people are still alive anyway. Like, you didn't kill everyone.
The friends are still alive.
Yeah,
the dad.
the friends and the dad, and like, yeah, it's just anyway. They try to drive away in like Bobby's uncle's truck, but he like ties it to a steel post so they can't drive away. So Jessica shoots a musket at him. She has to like use her mom's bracelet, and she like packs it into a musket, and she shoots it at this one of the blow up things behind him, and it explodes in like a huge fire. And I guess it like, I don't know if it like melts the beam or it like just blows it up or something. I don't know if that works.
I don't know what happened, but I just know that the doors just burst open and the
That
truck was able to go outside.
Yeah, they managed to drive away after the explosion. Don't know how, but yeah. Yeah, they get away, and then I guess in the morning or whatever, they're like going, the cops are there, and this one cop comes up and he's like, everything was incinerated, like there's no way anyone survived, but it's implied that the sheriff probably did, because they also don't find any, they don't say if they find any human remains or not.
At all.
And then obviously Jessica is like paranoid that one of the firefighters in the like gas masks are actually like him, which I don't think it's what I don't think he was one of them, because like even if he's alive, there's no way he's like just walking around after that.
I don't know, because like they didn't really show what happened in the fire, but they did show him like just jump. Like, did he get burnt? Did he not get burnt?
I think he did. He's
You
probably
know?
injured. So I think he's probably like really injured. I don't think he's like walking around after that, even if
Yeah,
he
but
is still alive.
why didn't she say anything? Like, why
Mm.
not? Why not check him? He's looking at me, because that's what they did give me the perception of too when I was watching it. Like, dang, this could be the sheriff right here in this little uniform, because he did have the axe, did have the mask, and it looks like he was looking in their direction the whole time.
Yeah.
Well, who knows?
Yeah, like it's very heavily implied that the sheriff is still alive, and there is a sequel slated, so we'll see. But yeah, after this, everyone, like I said, two of Jessica's friends are still alive, or I guess three, counting Bobby. I think only two of
Bobby
them
is
actually
still alive.
died. It was just Yulia and
Evan,
who
that's his
died.
name. I'm calling him Ethan.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're the only ones who died, right?
Yeah.
They're not even the couple.
No.
That's crazy.
That's true. Ethan's girlfriend and Yulia's boyfriend, they're both still alive. They have to like
crazy.
just go on. But yeah, and then Jessica had like a nightmare where like Eric is like on fire in her closet or whatever. And yeah, that's Thanksgiving.
Terrible ending.
You don't like the ending?
No, I told you that. It could have been better. I wanted to see, like, give me like a week after, you know. Let me see what their lives are like. I just see her in a bed with the wrong dude, and then she's scared out of her mind. And he doesn't even get up to go help, because she does tap him before she gets up and checks the closet.
Well, he does wake up at some point.
He wakes up after
in
she
the
gets out of
dream.
bed.
This was a dream. She was dreaming.
Man, listen, the wrong guy was in the bed. Where's Bobby at, first of all? And I just didn't like how they didn't show us anything like the aftermath of what happened.
It is an abrupt ending. I'll give you that.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know what happens to Bobby. I don't know if he leaves town again whatever.
I think he said he'll text her or call her once he gets back to school. Like when he hopped into the ambulance. I think that's what he said.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, it is kind of abrupt. What I don't get is why the sheriff was so mad at Jessica specifically. Even I don't really understand why he went after any of the teenagers, really. I mean, yeah, Jessica let them into the store, which is why the riot started in the first place, because everyone saw them in the store. But like, I mean, they're like kids though. And I guess he was mad at the one guy because he recorded it and posted it online. Like, I mean, like, which is, his video was like disrespectful, obviously.
Listen,
but like, I don't know. I feel like I would understand his anger towards everyone else, but I don't really get why he was specifically mad at these teenagers. Even Yulia, like Yulia didn't do anything
at all.
She did not do anything. Sure, she was there, but like she didn't do anything in the riot
at all. It was an unjustified crash out. That's what I would call it. It was okay. What, you're sleeping with a married woman?
That too. Like, yes, obviously consumerism is bad, and like people going that crazy over like appliances really bad. Like it's a good commentary on that like issue, definitely. Like there are a lot of videos out there like in real life of people going insane on Black Friday and stuff.
Killing people?
Not killing. I mean, like actually in like when they're shopping during Black Friday and like people like getting into fights and stuff. Like that's a thing.
Okay.
But like, yeah, like you're like sleeping with a married woman and like, no one's perfect. Okay.
Nobody's at all. I'm not perfect, but yeah, listen, it's a unjustified crash out.
Yeah. And another thing is like how the sheriff, I don't understand if like the reveal being the sheriff, one thing that was weird to me was how he was able to get around so fast.
Yo. Me, sure, because he was just with the cops before the big dinner reveal. He was just with the cops, and they had just split up.
I was thinking that when I was talking about it just now, because he, like I said, when he was like the killer was live streaming, and so like all of the cops and like SWAT or whatever, are, like trying to go see where he's live streaming from. Was he not with them, or like wasn't he part of that like effort when everyone was like going around the town trying to see where it was from?
He was with him?
How did he get back to the house? Because it was there. The town has like John Carver's house as like a historical landmark and stuff, and that's where he was hiding. So like, how did he get there when he's with the cops doing cop things?
Because he was the guy who assigned the split ups. He said, "You go here and I'll go here, and then y'all go there." So they did split up after a while.
They did, but he must have still been with a group. Like, how did he get away from his group or whatever?
He went by himself. That's the only way all of this could have happened.
Maybe. And then in the school too, with the chasing in the school, because he was outside first when the football game got canceled. He was outside. And then he goes inside at some point in the full costume. That's another thing. Every time we see him, he's obviously in the full costume and the full mask because because obviously we can't see his face. So like he goes from outside as sheriff, and then he goes inside the school and he kidnaps the friends first and he hides them somewhere, and then he also has time to chase Jessica around, and then when Jessica gets back outside, then he's back outside again and she's like telling him what happened. So like, how does that work?
Right? How did she wipe off his eyes? Because she sprayed him. She did.
Yeah, that too. She sprays him in the face with hairspray and everything. He has to like hide the axe and stuff. He was chasing her with the axe. Like he has to put the axe somewhere in the costume. How does that work?
Other thing too, you remember the parade before they showed the clown like kill the turkey? They showed somebody who was looking outside the window with like, I think, since he didn't have the John Carver mask on then, but he had something over his face. They showed a glimpse of him, and then after it just showed them the clown just take off the turkey's head. I'm like, how did he do that so quickly?
He had to get from wherever he was watching from to like all the way down to the parade.
Could it be two killers? That's why it did a second one.
If there was, I feel like they would have revealed that, because that's what I was thinking. Like, at least with Scream, usually in most Scream movies there's two killers, so it makes sense how like someone's in one place and then the killer's comes in because like there's two people working together. That makes sense.
But what if this could be like what was it, Scream 3, where it was Sydney's brother? What if it could be like that, Scream 3, where Scream 3, Sydney's brother, he stayed back in the first one and didn't reveal himself to the third one. What if part 2 could be like that?
That's what I was just thinking. If in the second one they reveal that someone was working with the sheriff the whole time, but if anything, I feel like that would just be like them trying to clean up what happened in this. Like, I feel like I feel like I wouldn't buy that he was already planned that way.
I'm cracking up.
Yeah, but even still, I enjoyed this more, like I said, on this watch than the first time I watched it. I think it was funnier than I remember. There were parts that were genuinely funny. It's like a slasher comedy, and obviously like movies like this always have some comedy in them, especially when it's like featuring teenagers.
Yeah. What scenes were funny though? You said you didn't like any of the catchphrases.
No, not funny? Really.
Let me see. Scooby Snacks, that was funny.
Yeah, the scene where Scuba's explaining why he's called Scuba, because he says his last name is Dybing and his first name's Claude.
That made no sense to me though. Like, why are you called Scooby?
Scuba.
Yeah, why are you called Scooby because of that?
Diving, like diving.
Oh, diving. And his first name is just Claude.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to be called Claude, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like I would not want to be called Claude.
I know somebody named Claude. That's funny.
Yeah.
Santa Claus? Claude? Yeah, I wouldn't want to be called Claude either. That's crazy. That's very crazy.
Yeah, so like there are like small scenes like I said, this movie is no Scream, obviously, but it's promising enough. I think it's decent enough. It's not my favorite.
I watched it like 5 to 6 times.
Really?
Yes.
Like, you really, even though you don't like the end?
Yes.
You still really, really like the movie, even though you don't like the end?
I watched movies like throughout the years Twilight in the beginning of the year. Like I got time zones, you know. I'm about to rewatch Harry Potter soon.
That's fair. I mean, I do the same thing, which is why I came up with this podcast because I like watching movies that pertain to each holiday. It's mostly just for Halloween and Christmas. Like I said, I usually don't um do this around Thanksgiving, at least not for movies. I usually watch episodes of shows around Thanksgiving.
Okay.
So like trying to find full movies has been a feat, but yeah, I usually do that too.
I haven't been able to really find the movie. I've been looking for movies like recently this weekend, but I couldn't find anything on.
So have I. Like I just found some more, but like when I first was coming up with the list for this, I could not find anything. It was really annoying.
Okay.
Other than this movie.
Like, what, Thanksgiving?
Yes.
Because it's the name.
Yes.
Thanksgiving.
That was helpful. There's Thanksgiving, but that's a little.
Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
Is that the same thing?
No, that's a different one.
I mean, not the same thing, but it's like still Thanksgiving and the killer is on the loose.
Yes, okay. But it's a killer turkey. Yeah.
The killer is a real turkey.
Yeah. I don't know I haven't seen it yet, so I don't know exactly what the deal is, but it's very like unserious.
I see.
Yeah. So I figured we'd go with this. But yeah, final thoughts?
A better ending. Part 2. Please hurry up though.
Yeah.
Same characters, please. Too.
Probably. I mean, I think it'll probably have Patrick Dempsey and the main girl again. I think Patrick Dempsey is definitely going to come back.
Oh, wait. Yo, is it anything called? Because you know how when the movie first starts, you know who the first character we meet is?
In this one? Was it was at Mitch's house for Thanksgiving. And
it was Patrick Dempsey walking up to the door, but the way they shot it, like it was a slow walk with like heavy breathing, and he just knocked on the door, and then the camera just panned to him. Yeah, is it something called? Because he's the killer, and he's the first person we meet. Is it something called that for scary movies?
I don't know. I can't really think of another movie that really does that. I mean, there are movies that start like that, obviously, but I don't know if they're specifically in order to introduce who will eventually be the killer.
Okay, but I did think that was neat watching it this time, though, and actually really paying attention.
Yeah, I think that's also like modeled after other slashers. Like I think Halloween does that too, or something similar to that.
We barely ever see Michael's face though. I just watched that over the weekend. The latest two, except for Halloween Kills and then the 2018 one. I just saw those two. But yeah, we barely see Michael's face at all.
Not really, no.
At all.
No, I mean, I've only seen the first two, but I don't really remember seeing his face at all.
The old one? I wanted to rewatch it, but I'm like, yo, these are so old.
It was hard to get through. It was hard to get through.
I seen the first one before, and I'm like, I'll probably never see it again, but it's so old. Oh my God.
Yeah, they were a little hard to get through. Maybe one day I'll try again, but I don't know. I was expecting more from Halloween. We're getting off topic again. But yeah, they were a little hard to get through, the first two. But yeah, this movie definitely has, like I said, a lot of influences from other slashers. There's no one up there. Don't worry.
I'll be hearing things. That's what people say. That's what people say in scary movies before they die. You know?
There's no one up there. Don't worry.
She says it again.
Yeah. So that's Thanksgiving. We're halfway through November now. Next week we're diverging a little bit, just because, like I said, it was hard to find holiday themed movies for Thanksgiving, but it's still fall themed. I still try to stay on that. But yeah, I think that's our show.